My mom did a great job at teaching me a life of obedience, taught me what it was to live a life of purpose and of destiny. But my personal walk with Christ was definitely inconsistent and sometimes fleeting. I strived for independence, I strived to be successful, and I strive for acceptance. So as I grew up and life began to shove me around a little bit, I found myself in cycles of sin, and I lacked the maturity to grow in my walk. And I attended church, but I definitely was not walking with Christ. He has afforded me great opportunities and accolades and success, both through my personal life and my career. But I still struggle with my walk with Christ. He chose me to take a path that was less traveled and be a testimony of his faithfulness, but I didn't feel chosen. He saved me from so many toxic and abusive relationships with men, but I struggled to embody that authority and that freedom. And he also would lead me to C3, where my skepticism of church and the culture would be restored. When I came to C3, I was carrying a lot of heavy weight. I had found out that I had fibrocystic breast, and I was category 4 at high risk for cancer. And I also was spiraling out of a very toxic relationship. I still was very reluctant on serving, joining team, dinner party, and even just having relationships. So it took me some time to get acclimated, but I did commit to just being there every Sunday. And every Sunday I felt like the message was speaking specifically to my situation. And every Sunday my heart would soften a little bit more and I would talk to more people. Something I learned about God through my journey is that he chases who he loves. And I think it's so evident that God's hand was on my life in every stage of my life. I think that the community of C3 really embodies the very heart of that. And I felt pursued by this community. I felt that they chased me and that they saw something in me. And now I get to be involved in that, and I get to participate in someone else's story to getting from prodigal to daughter or son. My first daughter's conference I could not afford at the time. I was really struggling to get the funds to go, and my dinner party friend Brianna reached out to me and sponsored me to go. My second daughter's conference, the first one of 2020, I was afforded the privilege to perform. I mean, only God can do that, only he can write that. I go from not being able to get through the door and being sponsored to go by someone else to being a participant and serving and using my gifts to touch others. I think that was God opening my eyes to see that I can trust and I can entrust my situation with the people that are in community. The trajectory of my walk with Christ changed when I heard that the truth about who I am and who God says I am will always exist outside of my feelings and outside of my past, the decisions that I've made to get me to this place. The truth about who God says that I am and my future is always going to be constant. I imagine myself completely healed of my condition. My faith was increasing and I experienced such tangible change. And I think that with the help of the community and now being a part of dinner party and serving, I've gone from being a skeptic to serving, from a prodigal to a daughter. I've gone from being broken to completely whole, and from category 4 to category 2, and envisioning full healing in my body. And I went from checking my box every Sunday and doing the bare minimum to being a full believer and walking with Christ.